How you doing? Welcome on into HouseofSparky.com. He's Blaine McCormick. I'm Troy Lynch. You're watching House of Sparky's Arizona State football show. And Blaine, please tell me you're excited. Pac-12 play begins today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. There's so much good college football to come. And speaking of good stuff, I got some good highlights for you, Troy.
Ooh, let's get right down to it.
All right, let's dive right in. Let's head on into Jones AT&T Stadium late first quarter. Shemenek over to his wide receiver, Cameron Batson.
Oh.
Ankle breaker right there as he gets in for the 11-yard passing touchdown, 14-3 Red Raiders. And the fans of Texas Tech already pumped up for this game, but Wilkins on the response gets a floating pass over to Kyle Williams. Hold on to that, baby. 21-10, Red Raiders still leading in that one, but what a reception from Williams. And just before halftime, Shemenek once again over to Dylan Cantrell for the 14-yard pass. You'll hear his name later. Then Arizona State on the response. Just give it to Balaj. He'll do the rest. Bulldozes in for the short touchdown. And Arizona State getting into the fight, but Nick Shemenek, 28-yard pass, and by Willie, that's Derek Willies coming down with it. 6 passing touchdowns in the game for Shemenek, and just an impressive outing from him. But the Sun Devils keep fighting as Manny Wilkins goes for it. Oh, no, he doesn't. He passes to Frank Darby, and he just does the rest. Waltzes on in for the 21-yard touchdown. And then late third quarter, Wilkins once again, he's under pressure, but he finds his man Kyle Williams once again, and he goes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the day. 45-38, Texas Tech still leading. And then Wilkins once again zips over to N'Keal Harry, and he just waltzes right in once again and says guns down for the Red Raider fans. Ties this thing up at 45. 2 minutes left in the game, and he just does the rest. That's Dylan Cantrell diving over, putting it in the end zone, and that'll do it. Tech wins this one 52-45. Now, you saw the highlights, but let's hone in on this game a little bit more with some deeper analysis from our football expert, Austin Burnett. First of all, thanks so much for being here, Austin. This may not have been the best game defensively for the Sun Devils. What did you see from them that they were really struggling with against Texas Tech?
Well, it was definitely their pass defense. You know, their secondary specifically. Kobe Williams and Joey Bryant. He's transferring from the track field to the football field this year. Obviously, it's a little different. It can be hard to make the transition from the track field to the football field. So him being a starter this year, it's been kind of a weak spot for the Sun Devils this year.
Now, you mentioned the transition from Joey Bryant from the track field to the football field. One transition that seems to work out pretty well for the Sun Devils so far is the confidence of Manny Wilkins. And he's even mentioned it before that he's a lot more confident this year going into the season and going into Pac-12 play. What have you seen from him that's different from last year?
Well, it's been his maturity. It's a 180-degree difference from last year to this year. Last year, he was really rattled in the pocket. He was almost taken off for a scramble if he didn't find his first look. This year, you can see him going from left to right, going through his first, second, and third looks. And it's night and day for Manny Wilkins for his maturity this year.
Now, talking about the team as a whole, they play the Oregon Ducks this Saturday, and Oregon just cracked into the AP poll at the 24th spot. What needs to happen for the Sun Devils' confidence specifically to match that of the Oregon offense?
Well, if they want a chance to beat the Oregon Ducks this year, their defense is going to have to show up. Their defense this year has been it hasn't been the greatest, to say the least. But if the offense is there, If Manny Wilkins continues to play like he's been playing, then the Sun Devils are going to have a chance. If their defense doesn't show up, then the chances go down a little bit. So, for ASU to be competitive with Oregon this year, their defense is going to have to show up big time.
Well, we'll see what kind of changes are in store for the Sun Devils as they take on the Ducks this Saturday, and we'll have more of that coming up later in the show. But for now, thanks, Austin, for being here.
Yep.
Injuries are the worst. There's no doubt about that. And last season for the Sun Devils, it was historically bad. Last year, after ASU's 54-35 loss to Oregon, Graham said that there were 10 starters out, and he has never seen it that bad before. Fast forward to now, and the Sun Devils have to face the Ducks to start conference play with fewer injuries, but with a better Oregon team. We have Josiah Destin in studio to give us the latest injury update before game day. What do you have for us, Josiah?
Well, Troy, at the top of Arizona State's injury concerns is senior linebacker Karan Crump, who is out indefinitely after he hurt his left knee in the first quarter against Texas Tech. Replacing him should be junior linebacker Abe Thompson, an Arizona Western transfer who made his debut last week with 2 tackles against Texas Tech. But he lacks the speed and experience of Crump, who is tied for second in the nation with 4 sacks heading into week 3. A key player who is questionable for Saturday, also with a knee injury, is junior wide receiver John Humphrey. The Oklahoma transfer has been out since week 2 against San Diego State, but led the Sun Devils with 127 yards on 7 catches in his only fully healthy game against New Mexico State this season. Let's send it back to Blaine at the desk.
Senior linebacker DJ Calhoun is a force to watch. He led the team in tackles with 77 and also had a team-leading 11.5 tackles for loss in 2016. Our own Troy Lynch tackled this interview with Calhoun alongside a few guest appearances.
Hey guys, welcome into houseofsparky.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Troy Lynch, and I'm with one of the Arizona State football linebackers, DJ Calhoun. DJ, I know it's a rough 1-2 start, but for you personally, you've been a beast out there. 31 total tackles on the season. You're second in the Pac-12 in that category. Have you feel like you've been developing and you are a better player than you are from last year?
I honestly feel like I developed a lot. You know, I look back at my film last year, and I'll say, like, I didn't play good at all. You know, I wasn't hustling to the ball and everything. And I was looking at that, I'm like, man, like, I need to change that. And I had outside people, you know, even family tell me, like, you need to play like, you know, the normal DJ that we all know.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, you know, I just need to work on that. And my main thing, too, was just, you know, working on my open field tackling and everything. So each game, I've just been trying to perfect it and, you know, just trying to not give up any type of tackle or anything like that.
Did you realize that last year, that you weren't really hustling as much as you probably could have?
I realized it a lot, you know what I mean? I don't know. It just hit me because, you know what I'm saying, senior year. So, you know, I just looked at it and I was like, you know, I got to change some things. So that's exactly what I did.
Welcome on in. We always love special guests on the interviews. But so you ended the season with 70-plus tackles. Obviously, when it comes to tackles, your best year so far, but you already have 31. It seems like you're going to surpass that. Is that like a specific goal that you're kind of aiming for this year?
It's a big goal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody wants, you know, to, up their stats the next year, you know, and I could have more tackles, but I missed a lot, you know what I mean? So I just told myself, like, man, you just got to be the best, man, you know what I mean? Don't worry about, you know, the outside noise or anything like that. You know, listen what people are telling you as well, too, you know, and notice stuff that, you know, just be critical of yourself. You know, when I was watching film, I looked at it and I was just like, man, I need to change. You know what I mean? And I was just looking at my freshman year, I was flying around, you know, running around and everything, and I was like, I need to play like that. And so, you know, so I did, and, you know, that's what I'm doing right now.
And so in the middle of a game, if you miss a tackle, what goes through your mind? Does that make you angry, and then you want to just tackle a guy even harder the next play, or what goes on?
That's the thing. Last year, I used to get mad, you know what I mean? I used to try to go for the kill shot all the time.
Right.
And I had to realize that, you know, it's not always about that. You know, it's okay just to get a little leg tackle and everything. Yeah. But I just don't like that, you know. I just want them to feel me, you know who I am, man.
So they remember who you are.
But I can remember, you know, with Utah, you know, came, hit the receiver on this whatever route, came across the field, hit him, and then I hit their quarterback as he was going out of bounds, whatever, and then, you know, I was like, you know, I'm big and bad, whatever, I'm just going to hit everybody without wrapping up. I ended up hitting the Utah running back, and he bounced off me and took it to the house. I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't do this no more, man. I just got to it's okay, DJ, to get the okay tackles. That's all I tell myself, you know. So, you know, tackle's a tackle, so go ahead.
From what you've told me, it seems like you've had to mature a lot throughout your tenure at Arizona State.
Exactly.
So you excited for Pac-12 play to begin?
Very excited, man. You know, our team, that's a lot of people don't get. You know, we lost or whatever, you know, have our 2 losses, but, you know, we have a lot of new guys. That's what everybody doesn't get. You know, you even have Joey that hasn't played football in like 4 years. You know, you have Kobe that's small, but he's one of the best corners in the Pac-12. Like, you know, but, you know, we're gonna be fine, man. You know, I love our defense, you know, because Brennan brought a lot of intensity, everything like that. So, you know, we're gonna be fine. You know, like I said before, you know, we beat ourselves. And those plays where we
hey, Manny.
it was plays where we literally, you know, beat ourselves, but, you know, we're going to be straight.
I remember talking to Kalen Balazs at Pac-12 Media Day, and he said the Pac-12's never right when it comes to predictions, and you guys are going to surprise some people, and I feel like you could do that.
We're going to.
Yeah.
We're going to. You know, we just got to – and Texas Tech game showed it, you know what I mean? We was down 23, you know, or 21-3, whatever
Yeah.
the score was. And, you know, after the half, you know, we was like, man, we got to step it up. And we came back, put up a fight. You know, they ended up, you know, being victorious, but it showed, you know, a heart. You know what I mean? And our coaches even said, like, that was probably our breaking point right there. And, you know, to see, you know, what we're made of. You know, we got to fix mistakes, everything like that. But, you know, we're confident. We're confident.
That's good. Well, confidence is definitely going to be key going into Pac-12 play. Well, DJ, thanks so much for being here with me today. And thanks for tuning in at houseofsparky.com. Catch him Saturday night against the number 24 Ducks.
Now, you saw our Pick Your Poster segment last week. Now we're going to throw a new segment at you called Pros and Cons, where Troy and I discuss the ups and downs of Sun Devil football. So, Troy, I'll start it off. I have the gray tie on, the gray suit jacket. I'm kind of having a grout fit for this day, and it's a little gloomy. So I'll take the cons side of it.
Makes sense.
The first one I want to bring up is Karan Crump's injury.
Yeah.
It's a big hit for the Sun Devil defense as he was at that devil backer position and really established himself there, leading the team in sacks last year. And now he's out indefinitely, according to head coach Todd Graham. It's unfortunate for both the team and for Karan Crump himself. It's just a bad news for him.
Yeah, but the good news is that defensive line is still going to be okay. They have 13 total sacks on the season. That's good for 6th in the nation. You got guys like JoJo Wicker, Tayshawn Smallwood, and AJ Latu. Those guys can get to the quarterback, and they've been very effective so far this year.
And I want to bring up another injury. It's to John Humphrey.
Yeah.
We saw him be out for the Texas Tech game, and it's unfortunate for the Sun Devils because he's a big weapon on offense.
Yeah.
And he's a big target for Manny Wilkins that he can throw to, the transfer from Oklahoma. And he's a very talented receiver, over 100 receiving yards in his first appearance at Sun Devil Stadium. So the fact that he's not going to be with the offense is unfortunate.
Yeah, he was the guy who was basically replacing Tim White this upcoming season. He's a great weapon. However, Manny Wilkins has been playing out of his mind. He has yet to throw an interception this season. That's very impressive because he's been dealing with some offensive line struggles. He's been under pressure a lot. However, he does have a lot of other weapons to work with. You got N'Keal Harry, you got Kyle Williams, Frank Darby, and all of those guys so far this season have been able to put up a game with 100+ receiving yards. So I think they're going to be okay in that aspect.
And the confidence of Wilkins has really grown, and he even mentioned it when he talked to the media the other day. He feels like a new quarterback to me. I hate to be the negative Nancy here, but this is my last thing. The confidence of ASU fans has not been its full potential as it has been in years past. We've seen fans leave at halftime, before halftime, and as soon as ASU is down by even a touchdown, we see fans already exit the rafters. So that's unfortunate. You guys, you gotta be supportive of your home team. They can't win if you can't be there.
But you got to stop being so negative, Blaine. But that's why I'm here. I'm going to end it on a positive note. Yes, the games do run long, but that's okay now because you got Demario Richard back. He came back last week against Texas Tech, and he even scored a touchdown. So he's going to be able to balance the workload with Kalen Ballage, and it should be more effective when it comes to this ASU offense. And those are your pros and cons for this week. But now we're still not done with the Sun Devils, but let's take a break from ASU. With conference play starting up, we want to give you the latest scoop of what's happening in the Pac-12. Luckily for you, we have Josiah Destin back in the studio to do just that.
A couple of unbeatens will face off in Berkeley as number 5 USC plays Cal in its first road game of the season. USC struggled at home against 1-2 Texas, winning in double overtime. Cal, on the other hand, has a win on the road against North Carolina and halted Ole Miss to just 16 points. Just across the bay in Palo Alto, Stanford seeks to snap its 2-game losing streak against UCLA. Both teams dropped out of the rankings after losses by just a field goal last week. Josh Rosen threw for over 450 yards and 4 touchdowns in UCLA's 48-45 loss to Memphis, while Stanford's Bryce Love ran for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 20-17 loss to San Diego State. With 5 teams ranked in the Pac-12, plenty of excitement is in store for the weekend.
Always good to have you on the show, Josiah, but it's always good to have Max Madden, who's one of our House of Sparky experts, on the show as well. And Max, you actually have some film that we're going to break down of the Oregon game that happened last week. So Arizona State going up against number 24, Oregon. It's going to be a good game for sure. Oregon good passing-wise, running-wise. but the first thing you think of when you think of Oregon, it's Royce Freeman. The guy already has 9 total touchdowns, which leads the country in that category, and I feel like that's the first guy you need to stop if you're Arizona State.
Well, you're definitely right, Troy. Royce Freeman is a dynamic playmaker. Let's take a look at this play. So Willie Taggart and his Oregon offense love to implement shifting run schemes. So they're going to move both of these offensive linemen over towards the right side of the line, which is going to create a huge hole for Royce Freeman to run through. And because he's such a dynamic athlete, as we mentioned before, he easily shakes off a Nebraska defender and picks up a big first down. Now, this next play, you're also going to see them implement a tight end from the pistol formation to shift all the blocks over to the left side of the field, which also creates another huge hole for Royce Freeman to exploit. And he doesn't pick up a first down, but it's still a big gain.
Royce Freeman probably the biggest weapon that Oregon's offense has. However, you do have to look out for Justin Herbert, their quarterback. Last year, he pounded Arizona State at Autzen Stadium, and this year, he's still on fire. He's got 5 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, but a very lethal weapon that the Ducks have.
Well, they're extremely creative on offense, Troy. Let's take a look at how they run screenplays. So on this play, they're going to take the slot receiver from the near side of the field to the far side of the field. And then they're going to have both of the receivers that are stacked run a screenplay. So the receiver on top, he will set the pick. The receiver behind will find the room. And you can see all of the blocking. They'll switch sides actually on that block. And there'll be plenty of room to hit a huge gain. So what they can also do on offense is fake a screen. So they'll take this front receiver on the top in the paired situation up there, and he'll fake a screen, and then he'll go straight down the sideline. Now, Nebraska does a good job of recovering that strong safety on the far side of your screen, but it still represents a pretty dangerous situation for the Sun Devil cornerbacks, who are albeit pretty inexperienced. Now, Herbert doesn't look his way. He finds a spot over the middle, but the Sun Devils are definitely going to have to watch out for those fake screens. Now here, Troy, is just something that you cannot scheme for. Justin Herbert's incredible poise in the pocket. You're going to see Nebraska's going to bring about 4 or 5 defensive tackles and linebackers after him, but he stays in the pocket, takes a huge hit, and delivers an absolutely beautiful back shoulder throw for the touchdown. That is something that you just cannot prepare for if you're the Sun Devils, that kind of throw and excellence from Justin Herbert. Now in this play, you're going to see him toss a touchdown pass to the right side of the field, and you may not even realize that the play is developing. The slot receiver peels out after the outside receiver sets a bit of a pick, and Herbert puts it beautifully in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, it definitely looks like Oregon's just a great all-around team. Arizona State, they've had to go up against Texas Tech. They were great with the air raid attack. They've had to go up against San Diego State, which is great on the run game. However, Oregon, they're just the whole package. How do you see this game playing out for the Sun Devils?
Well, you're definitely right, Troy. This is a team and an offense that the Sun Devils are pretty unprepared to face, because it's a mixture of all the different teams that they've played before, and they haven't really performed well in any facet on defense this season. I think the Ducks take this one 52-40.
All right, so a rough start for the Arizona State Sun Devils, falling to 1-3 if the number 24 Ducks are able to come out with a win at Sun Devil Stadium on Saturday. Max, thanks again for joining us. You can catch more of his work on houseofsparky.com.
Sometimes it only takes one game to catch the attention of thousands, and that's the story of Kyle Williams. Against Texas Tech, he acquired 111 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. He was also one of 4 different receivers for the Sun Devils to have 100-plus receiving yards in 3 consecutive games, a first of its kind for the program. Now, not only does Williams have the hands and the speed, but also the smarts. Both Todd Graham and receivers coach Rob Likens praised his football mind and his adaptation to different plays. And the best part is, he was a defensive back last season. A story of change and performance under pressure. That's the story of Kyle Williams. And that's why he is our ASU Feel-Good Story of the Week.
Great job reading, Blaine, but now on to our Pac-12 top plays. Washington versus Fresno State. That was Dante Pettis who just caught that touchdown. One of his 3 receiving ones, but this is our number 3 play of the week, a 77-yard punt return. This is actually going to tie the NCAA record for career punt returns. He only needs one more to break Antonio Perkins' record from Oklahoma.
Well, Troy, moving on to Los Angeles, Darnold throws this one, tipped off the receiver, and look at Deshaun Elliott scooping that one, almost hit the ground, but then he gets it, returns it for a pick-6 touchdown to give Texas a little bit of a fight. Look at this. He scooped it right before it hit off the ground on the tips of his fingertips.
Using his finger muscles for that.
Exactly. And I mean, there's a whole bunch of weight lifts. I don't know if there's a finger weightlifting, but it works out for him.
But that was not our top play. This one belongs to Arizona's Shun Brown, staying on his feet. Not really sure how to do this, but you ever play Madden? B button! What a spin move, and Shun Brown just shuns the entire UTEP defense for a touchdown. One more time in slow motion for the kids at home. U of A went on to beat UTEP 63-16 and earned our top play of the week. Well, I tell you what, Blaine, seeing that play from Shun Brown really made me miss playing Madden. I think we should play some time.
I think we just found our new segment.
Ooh, good idea. See which one of us is better football-wise at video games.
Exactly, because you know me, I can't strap on those pads. I'm way too small.
You and me both, my friend. That just wouldn't work out.
Well, you know what does work out? This show, and we just ended it on a positive note, like we always do.
We try.
We try our best here. For Troy Lynch, I'm Blaine McCormick. Thanks so much for tuning in to our House of Sparky football show. And make sure to keep up with everything ASU sports on our website, houseofsparky.com, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Once again, thanks so much for joining us.